welcome to a new sketchbook tour. If you've seen my previous sketchbook tour, this one is the one that comes like right after. Like I started this one right after I finished the other one. So I started the sketchbook on August 4, 2019 and I just finished it on February 11, 2020. Just as a fair warning, I went ahead and I like censored like everything that was like full frontal nudity or like anything like that, but there's still a lot of more like pin-uppy, I guess, shots in there. Like there's nothing that would be like worse than what you'd see, you know, walking by the Calvin Klein store, you know, or something at the mall. But still, just be careful of like, you know, maybe don't watch it on your TV with your grandma in the room unless she's like cool with those kind of things, you know. So this sketchbook is Leuchtturm1917 180 GSM paper. I think it's like it's their sketchbook paper. It's a 9x12. It's just like a really good size. Like you can see, it's bigger than a sheet of letter size paper. So like last time, we'll start by going over all the stickers that are on the front page. These two I've made myself as long with this one. This one comes from Punimeld. It was like a promo to joining like our Patreon, like for a certain month. It used to have like wings and arms. They were really thin, and at some point they like started lifting and they just tore off. A lot of the really small ones are like all of these, I think, and the shark and the mushroom and toast and the chicken are from Joysan. I'm subscribed to like our Patreon sticker club, and like every month I get stickers from her. It's really great. And I usually try to like stick a few every time I get some on my sketchbook, but I think I missed like a few because it was starting to get full. The IKEA shark I remember like because she was asking in the Patreon like suggestion for IKEA stuff, and I said like the shark plushies. Then the frog, the little like magical girl thing ear, and just this other frog, the Tamagotchi and Kumamon are from, and Pikachu are from Punimeld. And also like a Tom Nook ear are from where. Like the stickers, the quality of hers is so nice. Like they're really thick. You can't tell, but there's just this really thick vinyl. But yeah, her stuff is really cute and I always love to put it on my sketchbook. And this one is from Kelly K. She has this brand called like Space, I forgot what it's called. It's like Space Cadet Club or something. I'll look it up and put it like in the video description. But like I met her at a Hackathon and we traded stickers and it was really nice. Like I really love her art style. And then these two are by CP, and I think this one was like a freebie when I bought stuff, and this one came from like a sticker sheet I bought. Yeah, I really like putting stickers on my sketchbook. It's so big, so it's really nice to be able to do that and like showcase like art from people that I like. So yeah, it's always like just like inspiring because I have my own sticker club now too, so it's always kind of inspiring me to be able to use like people's stickers and hope that people use mine the same way. So I think I transferred that from the last one, even though I kind of stopped doing that study challenge. I'm still doing studies, but just like from a different challenge than the Learn Your Veggies one, but I kept it in there because at the beginning I was like still kind of trying to do it. So yeah, so as last time, nothing on the first page, no stress. It's a lot less stress to not have, I don't know, I feel like people, I think I talked about that last time, that people like sometimes like, oh, the first page I want it to be perfect, or some people would say that like make your first page messy so that like, you know, you won't care about the rest, but I prefer to keep it blank. So in this one, I think in the last sketchbook I mentioned I was using more like pencil than ink to like do the line art basically. And at the beginning I used some pencil that were really like creamy, so like they smudged a lot. Even though like this sketchbook doesn't smudge as much as other sketchbook might. Like a ring sketchbook usually will, like, the page will shuffle more, so it'll smudge a lot more. Like when I had some of the Canon XL ones, like sometimes like the drawing would look like it was like completely erased because of how much it actually like smudged. But this one, it does it a bit because like when you draw on either side you press on it. But yeah. Oh, okay. These pages, I remember I was having like a really hard time drawing. Like sometimes it just happens, you know, it's like nothing comes out right, and then you're like, oh, what's going on, you know, I should be able to draw. And you know, so I drew like really badly like a character there, and what happened is that on here I did like sketches for this painting here, and once I finished the painting I just like slapped it on. I was like gonna hide my shame. And so yeah, but yeah, I actually really like that painting. I like backgrounds that are like one big flat color, so that was fun to do. And also like it makes my sketchbook feel like a bit more like scrapbooky, to something to have a painting stuck in there. I haven't done it ever since, but I think it's something I might do again. But then it like, again, it like covers stuff that I've done. So you see, you can probably, can you see here? There's like a lot more smudging from the other side. I don't remember what pencil I was using here, but it was a lot more smudgy. This one I finished digitally. I'll probably do like last time and like put it like here. This is, so this was last summer I table at Attackton, which is a convention in Montreal. And I did like sketch commission, and this one guy asked me for this soccer player. I forgot his full name. It's like Ronaldo something. And this was like not the actual commission, but I did like a first like sketch in my hotel room before I like actually did the commission itself. These are, I was sitting at my table and I was trying to come up with like new design for things, and I remember hearing in a podcast, I think it was a writing podcast, but it was still something you could apply to other kind of creative endeavors, which was to like look up like word generators and like create something from it. And so I found this generator that would like spit out like 3 words. So this is what these are. Like it's there's this one was like delicious butter workshop, so it's like all ale butter. And this one was fat cake battle. But it was fun. I haven't done it since, but it was really fun to kind of try to come up with new ideas. I should do it again. Like it was fun. This page is actually, I think I had like written some ideas in there, but it was for something, and I don't remember what, but I erased it because it was just like written things. And so when I reached near the end of the sketchbook, I went back and I did those pages. So I did these pages February 8th and 9th, 2020. Like this is more recent than what's just before and what's just after. But one thing that I've like really tried to do more in the sketchbook is put character like in a situation. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I need to work more on backgrounds or environments. So it's something I've noticed myself too that I don't do, and I think like full backgrounds are very like intimidating to like do a full room or something like that, especially when you don't have like a really good grasp of perspective. Like I do have a basic understanding of it, but I can't, like I don't know yet how to build like an entire room with like a perspective grid or something. But one thing I've done is try to integrate like some elements, you know. In this one there's like shelf behind him with some things, and like this one there's like a couch, so it's like the characters is like on something, you know. It's not like a full environment, but it's like they're not like floating in space, you know, like this one is. So this is like we're back to like August or September, I don't remember exactly, but oh, this is my OC Quentin. I think I talked about him in the last one. He usually has like a squinty face because he doesn't wear his glasses. Like he doesn't like wearing them, and he doesn't like contacts either. But I drew him like wearing actually like his glasses. I'm not like, this is something I need to work on too, like drawing glasses and accessories. Oh, this was at some point I made a new OC. His name is Killian. But this was like kind of like, I had like a vague design idea, and I just kind of was like, okay, I need to put it down, and I didn't really know what to do with them for a while. But so much later I was like, okay, like time to like develop it more and whatnot. So this was kind of like just like a first like sketch, just to like get that idea out of my mind and be able to move on. These ones, I think I saw like a tutorial on Pinterest that was like drawing like sharp teeth, so I just kind of followed it along, and that was really fun. This one I think was made from just like a random like study. Just found a picture on Pinterest, and I play with the, I don't use my markers often, but these are like alcohol markers, and you can see like they kind of like went through, like it looks like there's like something has been spilled, right? So yeah, I like this paper, but I find it's not that good for markers. The Canson like mixed media was better for markers, but oh, this I was again having a hard time drawing, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do like something different, and I never draw any sort of vegetation, so I was like, let's draw plants. And succulents are so fun to draw. Like I've really discovered that they're fun to draw, like this one, especially this one, because it was like you start like small and you kind of go in and big, and then like I don't know, it was fun. This one I kind of play around with markers, but I don't like the look of them. They're my Tombow markers. I don't use them that often, so more OC stuff. I don't think I have fan art in this, except like one thing, which we'll see later. These are all OC. Oh, this one we were playing. Some friend and I were talking about like our characters as like D&D characters, because I have some friends who play D&D. So this is like Kasim, which you saw earlier, like a bunch, like ear. So, but as a tiefling, so if you don't know like tieflings, they're like kind of like half human, half demon-ish. I guess that's the best way to describe them. They're kind of fairly popular as like a D&D race. I think people just like the horns and the tail, and then I did like a full version of him here. Oh, this was also like another D&D one. It's Hector, who's like here. It was like, I think he's like a, I don't remember if he's like a full, I think he's a full elf cleric. So yeah. I haven't drawn like any of it since, because it's not really, but it was just fun to reimagine my characters as like something different. Okay, these ones. So sometime this summer I actually I have them with me here. Sometime this summer I went on Amazon Japan and I bought a bunch of reference books. So I forgot the names of them, well, because like they're in Japanese, but like there's a translation of the name on the website. I think this one is like muscle focus. So this one is like just kind of a guy with this like boxer, and he's like posing. So the great thing with all of these is that they do come with a CD that you can have like all the pictures on your computer. So it's really useful to like, I think like I don't actually use the book, I mostly use like the picture on my computer. But it's really great for reference. And this one was like a mix mash of like it's just like this clothed and unclothed pose, just, you know, all sort of random like sitting, or you know, there's like swords and guns, and this one was more like generic. And then there's this one which I've used a lot. It's, if you've ever heard of like Suzuya Nudes, I used to follow like his Instagram, but like he's kind of like a pin-up-y type of model, and so this one is like, there's no full frontal nudity, but there is like butts in there. I bookmarked this page because this one is like one of the safer pages, but this one also came with a CD, so I've been using that a lot. And so these poses came from the, like when I first got this book, and it was really fun to draw actually. Like it really helped me step out of my comfort zone, because these are not the kind of, because I use Pinterest a lot for poses, but I find at Pinterest you get a lot of like fashion shoot kind of poses, so like oftentimes it's like someone standing or like sitting. There's not like a lot of variety even if you actually look for it. So but like this one, it was really more like different poses and really helped me step out of my comfort zone. This one is from like the Muscle book. Oh, and this is like the only piece of fan art that's in this sketchbook, and you probably can't see well. I didn't do Inktober this year, but I did do some ink pieces at the beginning of the month, but I like moved on to other things. And this is Ash from Reaper Sun's comic, this Vacant Body, which I really love, and I really like this character, so I did like a quick ink piece of him, but I kind of wanted to do like a first sketch to like figure out what like his face actually looks like first. But I kind of want to draw more from the characters in that comic because it's really good and I really like the characters. Oh, this one I did finish digitally. I also did like partially a watercolor of it, but I'm not super happy with it because I tried some things and they didn't really work. But yeah, this one I can never figure out to draw like chibis. So I was looking at like some artists that I like, oh, they draw chibis, trying to like figure it out from there. Like, I think this one turned out cute, but that's about it. Like, not like how, I know, I still need to work on that, I guess. It's one, I feel like it's one of those things that like you either get it or you don't, and I don't. These, I don't think you can see well because it's like all in really pale blue, but these were for one of my Patreon sticker club sticker sheet. Yeah, it's like a little astronaut going on adventures, and there's some aliens, but I didn't include them in there. But yeah, usually now I just sketch it direct on my iPad, but no, for this one I had my sketchbook, I had my ID, so I started drawing it like immediately, and then I just kind of scanned it and put it on my iPad. These are more of those pin-uppy poses from that book. This isn't like any of OC or something. I just like randomly stuck like a face and air on it so they would be complete, because most of the poses you never see the person's face at all. So for this book, so sometimes you'll see the back of the head, but it's really rare. These were for like a watercolor painting. I was trying to find like compositions. I think I went with this one. I wasn't super happy with the finished results, but oh, actually I have it like right in front of me, so I can show you. So it's this one. I think I didn't like the background didn't turn out the way I wanted to, and like the kind of moon. But it was still like a good experience. Like I think I've mentioned before that I'm fairly beginner with watercolor still, so any practice is good practice. Yeah, the tip here is like censored pages. I think this one, yeah, this one I was playing around with like pen. I think I use, for these ones, I think I just use this like kind of basic, I think it's a uni, like it's a ballpoint pen. These ones I think are like felt pen though, these two. It was fun though. Like I know like I had some friend who commented on this one that they felt it was like really dynamic or something. So, but I usually don't like inking. I like pencils. Yeah, there are more that were like in ballpoint pen. Oh, this one, the pages are smudged so much. I don't know why. I think it might just be the pencil I use. But yeah, this is Kasim, which I showed earlier, but I drew him like when he's younger in like the 90s, and he was really into like metal music and stuff, so I gave him that look. Yeah, a lot of my pages will have like kind of all these like little blue scribbles around that are actually like a drawing, because I usually like will try to figure out like poses before I actually like commit to it. Like this one ear, I was trying here to kind of figure like the twist and everything. I was trying to kind of figure out like the twist of the body, but I don't think I did successfully. I realized after like how I messed up, but that's just, you know, you gotta, sometimes you make mistakes and you just gotta learn for the next time. I think these were just like, except this one, all of these were kind of just like studies from poses on Pinterest. And because they were just like quick studies, oh, this one too. I didn't mind as much if they weren't like as finished. Also, these also were done with like a ballpoint pen. I do kind of like inking with a ballpoint pen, but it's not clean. Oh, and this like I found like a stamp. So this was November 27. So I just kind of stamped it there. I think I did it like a few times after. It's in my desk, so I can just like pull it out and quickly stamp the date. I might try to do it more in the other. Oh, this one. These ones I was kind of feeling uninspired, so I went and watched Sushi's or like Tricky Wagon's Sketchbook Tour, and in some of them she mentioned like just outlining a shape with in ink, and I really like that idea. And also like sometimes just having like color on the outside, so I kind of just played around with that in those pages. And this was also I think something she did for a character, which like put stars on it. It didn't turn out good, but I just played around with it. This one I did finish digitally, and this one's like a few of these are like from studies. This one isn't. So that's another one that I did the thing with like the black outline. These are all studies, I think from one of, these are from one of the book I showed earlier. These are, one of my favorite artists is C Points or CP, and I really like the way she used inks. And in the past few years I picked up, last year basically, I picked up a few of these. They're the Pentel, they're like a brush pen. I forgot like what their actual exact names are, but they're basically like a brush pen with ink. And the good thing with these is that unless you use it like very heavily, it won't go through this paper. So I was kind of just looking at some of the stuff she did and trying to apply it, like not copy exactly like her drawings, but more like look at the techniques she was using and trying to apply them to drawings just to see where that was going. So this was one of them where it's like, instead of like outlining the shape, I just did like a flat blue shape, and I used like the inside line to kind of define the shape more, so it's like the pinstripes for this one. So yeah, I haven't done that since, but it was fun. I do use sometimes this color as like a background, like I did here, like it's just the background. This one is all like the black and the red pen. This one I did finish it digitally. Oh, and this is when, you know, the character I mentioned earlier, Killian. Yeah, I think this is when I was like, okay, time to make him into like an actual character. So I just kind of drew him more and tried to come up more with his character. He has this like scar on his body and on his face, and I'm still trying to find other place. I don't exactly want them to connect directly, but to be kind of like in the same angle, if that makes any sense. That's him. Like, see, like I tried to have this car kind of wrapped here on his side, and I think now I've been wrapped like around like the other way. These are some studies, some kids. So see, that's another one where I just like use like a red around, and even though it's like halfway pencil, halfway ink. This I think is one of the last thing I drew in there, because there was like a blank page here, and because I think I was gonna draw something and I ended up like not drawing it, so I ended up leaving this blank, and then towards the end I went back and did it. This is one of those like wait, I'll zoom in on this one for you. So this is something I've been working on, and it's like the like almost profile, almost kind of like in between profile and 3/4 at angle. It's something I've struggled for a really long time because it's like the nose goes beyond like the edge of the face, and I find it like it's really hard to balance. But I've been really working on it, so I think I'm sort of getting there, maybe eventually. Oh, this was like a layout of like Cassim that I talked about earlier. He has like a magical shop and is also kind of lives above it, and I was just kind of like a layout of like how I imagined the place to be. No, so see, like these are more like placing characters and like an environment, right? It's a bed and there's a window, there's plants, so it's not a full room, and it's not necessarily like exactly to like perspective rule and whatnot, but it's still more than just a character floating. So that's another one that I use, like one of the red one. I really like that red, so I use it a lot. Like you notice in this book there's not a lot of ink. But one thing, like I just really love using pencils. I mostly use, right now I use a lot the Staedtler. This is like a 2H. 2H is a bit art sometimes, but I like that it smudges less. And also use the Derwent 2H. Oh well, this is the 4B because the 2H is like at the bottom of my pencil case. But no, it wasn't 2H. It was 2B. Yeah, the Derwent 2B. It's a lot softer, but it smudges more. But both of these are really fun, and it's also like, I don't know, like I feel like it really took a lot of pressure off for me to be able to finish things in pencil and sort of be like, okay, this is like where I just draw stuff for myself or like to share with friends, and whenever I want to share things with other people I just finish it digitally. So I feel like it made me draw a lot more to have that pressure off of me, because every time I would draw something I would be like, oh, I'm gonna ruin it with the inking, and it's like, I think sometimes people view the inking as like the end all of like drawing, and I think it can be an important skill, but at the same time it's like, if you don't enjoy it, like why do it, you know? So I've just been doing a lot more like pencil work. One thing I do though, that's real tip for you all if you like to do stuff in pencil, because I use like a color erase for like the background, and what I do is that I just take like a kneaded eraser, and I will roll it like lightly all across the sketch, so I'll still see some of it, but it will take away like a lot of the blue. You'll see a faint blue layer, but it will mostly be the pencil that comes through. So, and just so when you use colored pencil, or even like if you want to do like your sketch in a pencil and then do like the liner in pencil, you can still do that, because then it'll like, you'll take off like one layer and you can still see it. I was at their friend's house drawing, and my friend was like, draw a snake, and I forgot the name of that snake. It's like this ridiculous looking snake, so I drew that. This one, I wasn't having a good day, but I was still kind of trying to push through and draw, and I tried to use my Ecoline watercolor, and boy oh boy, that was a mistake, because it soaked through the paper like instantly, and I was like, eh, and yep, it went through. So, but I still finished it, because then otherwise it would have been odd. But like, I think you can use actual watercolor with this paper, or like wash like very lightly. But I think it was just too much water. It was just too, or maybe it was just like, I don't know, the type of ink that it is, but it just went right through, and yeah. But it's okay. And that's the last page. Yeah, this is kind of the last page, but there's like the Leuchtturm things on there. But yeah, so this is another one with like a character in like an environment a little bit. But yeah, the sketchbook, I feel like the sketchbook and the last one were really kind of turning point for me, like art wise. I really explore like things differently, and yeah, like I started on my new one, and it's like, you know, what am I gonna learn in the next one? But yeah, I know like people talk often about like, oh, it doesn't matter like what tools or what like sketchbook you use, but I feel like these sketchbook have really made a difference for me. Like the paper is just so nice, and it's like I kind of forget that it's there, you know, it's like it doesn't get in my way. But yeah, I hope like Leuchtturm never stops making these, because they're probably the ones I'm gonna keep using until I can't. I know I don't think I'll ever find like a better sketchbook. They're really expensive, like I'm gonna be open about that. They are a really expensive sketchbook, but I do think that they're really worth it, and for me it's made a huge difference. I think for my next sketchbook I would like to start, you know, continuing with like putting characters in the environment, and maybe work on more like drawing like objects, and you know, start like backgrounds. So we'll see during my next sketchbook tour if I've managed to do that. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope this was enjoyable for you to watch. If you haven't seen my first sketchbook tour, I'll leave a link like in the corner or in the description below so you can go see it. And I look forward to sharing my next sketchbook with you.